Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night ASEA Zoom presentation. My name is Terri Malmed, and I am joined along with my husband, Dr. Foster Malmed. Welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, everybody.
Somebody invited you here to hear about the greatest scientific health breakthrough of our lifetime. And tonight, instead of showing some videos, what we're going to do is we're going to ask the doctor who has been studying this for the past 6 years, who brought it into a hospital for 5 years, who sits on the Medical Professionals Board for ASEA, Dr. Foster Malmed. He knows everything about ASEA. He knows the science behind it, the technology, who it's good for, and everything ASEA and Renew 28 and redox signaling. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce my husband, Dr. Foster Malmed. I am Terri Malmed. We are triple diamonds with ASEA, which just means that we have shared ASEA with a lot of people and helped a lot of people, and we are making a difference while making a living with this amazing company. So welcome, Dr. Malmed.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much. A beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So I think I'm just going to ask you some questions and let you answer the audience, all right? How's that sound?
I think that would be great. Everyone's listening. Perfect.
Okay, so why don't we get started here? I'm going to put the computer right in front of you. There you go. Put it right in front of you.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so can you talk about ASEA, what it is, what these redox signaling molecules are, and how they play a part in the health and wellness of all living beings, including animals?
Absolutely. Big question is going to be a big answer. Not that big. Okay, so what is ASEA? So ASEA is a miracle in a bottle. So what's in our bottles is redox signaling molecules. It's a very sciencey term, but it's foundational. It's as basic as it gets. Every cell in the body makes essentially what ASEA is. This bottle is filled with trillions of these particular molecules that are made in every cell. And by the way, you have between 70 and 100 trillion cells. So every millisecond, a cell makes these molecules for several reasons. One, they're called redox signalers because they signal. So they allow cells to talk to one another and inside of themselves. Nothing in a cell gets done unless redox signaling molecules tell those cells what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So what we have had been sought after for many years. The discovery of the first molecule of the type that ASEA is, the redox signalers, that was discovered in 1998. And in 1998, that won a Nobel Prize for winning the first one, for finding one molecule. And you don't need to know which one that was, but it was nitric oxide. Okay, so in our bottle, we have a whole bunch of others. And these molecules do so much. They do signaling. They tell cells what to do. They increase the body's own production of the most important antioxidants in the world. They activate all the antioxidants. So whether they're made inside your body or you're taking them from someplace else, if you're taking any other good supplements that has antioxidants, these molecules send those antioxidants into motion and have them do what they're supposed to do. So they are incredibly important. So if you are healthy, it means you have a great supply and balance of these molecules. If you are unhealthy, you will see, if you do enough research, and you actually don't have to because I've done it for you, you need more redox signaling molecules, and they need them to be the right supply and the right balance of them. So every single animal, plant, and human that has more than one cell, which is essentially all of them, they need redox signaling molecules to stay young and healthy.
So what you're saying is that it's good for animals?
It is amazing for animals. Ask my dog, she'll tell you.
Absolutely. We use it with our dogs and have for almost 6 years now. So is ASEA safe? This is really important. We get this question all the time. Is ASEA safe? What if somebody is a newborn baby or 2 years old or 100 years old? What if they have this health challenge or that health challenge and they're on this medication and there are 20 medications? Is ASEA safe? And who is it safe for?
Okay. So I love this question. It's one of the most common questions that is asked about this breakthrough technology. So ASEA is safe, period, done. It's the end of it. You can't make ASEA unsafe. Before ASEA, when it was in the hands of a biotech company, they did between $5 and $6 million in safety studies. And I won't bore you with things like cytotoxicity and neurotoxicity and things, but all of those studies were done. You cannot make ASEA unsafe. It's safe for newborns. It's safe if you're 110 years old, and you might just end up that age if you get on ASEA and stay on it. It is safe for anybody who's taking anything that's prescribed by their doctor. It doesn't matter what supplement. It doesn't matter what condition you may or may not have. You cannot make ASEA unsafe. It is 100% safe. It's the same thing that every cell in your body makes to keep it young and healthy.
What about Renew 28? Is it also safe?
Renew 28 is also safe. You can't make Renew 28 unsafe. And don't go by just my word. Dermatest, which is an international dermatological testing firm, one of the best in the world, they give us 5 stars for our safety because you cannot make it unsafe.
Thank you. So some people, including medical professionals and doctors, people say, oh, should I take it to my doctor? And I took it and they say it's just salt water. They look at the ingredients and they say it's sodium chloride. It's just salt water. What do you say to that?
I say, okay, so on this bottle, yes. So the short answer is, oh, look, it's sodium chloride and water. So that's what your cells start with when they're making redox signaling molecules. So our cells take salt and water. We are essentially large bags of salt water, and goes through a chemical process that happens in your body in the cells and makes redox signaling molecules, as I said before, in milliseconds. Our company can do the same thing in 72 hours. And if that doctor or that person who's saying it's salt water would just take another minute and look at what the description is, it says it's redox signaling molecules. So yes, it's made of salt and water, but then it's 3 days of very fancy proprietary electrochemistry, and that's where the magic happens. And what comes out is balanced, a perfect supply of redox signaling molecules sitting in a very mild saline matrix to keep them stable.
Okay, so then it's not salt water. After the 3-day electrochemical process, it's no longer just salt water, because I've had people say, you know what, I have a sodium restricted diet. My doctor says it's salt water. I can't take it because I can't have too much sodium. So I think there's some confusion with that because it starts with salt and water. Could you explain that, please?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. So people say, but I have high blood pressure, but I have a salt restricted diet. Typically, those people don't even know how much sodium they should be taking per day. When you look at the side of the bottle, if you read a little farther down, there's 123 milligrams of sodium in a daily dose of 4 ounces per day of ASEA. If you went out and ate a Big Mac, I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams. Most humans have between 3,000 and 5,000 milligrams of sodium. If you're sodium restricted, the lowest people typically go is 1,500 milligrams per day, and that's for people who are typically pretty ill. This is only 123 milligrams. It's the same as a couple of carrots or a piece of whole wheat bread. It's minuscule.
So what you would say is eat a couple less carrots.
Exactly. And
take your dose of ASEA.
Exactly.
Perfect. So again, how do we know that that bottle has redox signaling molecules? How do we know that this tube is redox signaling? We can just say that, but how do we actually know that we have redox signaling? Do we have any certifications?
I love these questions. You think like a scientist. Okay, do we have any certifications? Okay, so right there, it says Bioagilytics. I hope it's not backwards to you. Okay, so Bioagilytics is a company, international company that certifies typically drugs. They certify 8 of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies and their products, their drugs, and they prove that those drug companies are selling exactly what they say it is. They check for the ingredients and they prove and certify that that's what they have in their pills and their capsules. And Bioagilitics certifies our products every week with random batches, that every batch is certified to be redox signaling molecules in the bottle. It's not salt water, it's redox signaling molecules.
Can you talk about some of the other certifications? I know we have some others like Stevens and Associates, and are we like NSF? And we're an FDA registered facility as well, are we not?
Yes, I would say those are leading questions, and they're great questions. If you were an attorney, you'd probably be in trouble.
I'm just taking them right there. He has no idea.
On the witness stand. Okay, so yes, so we have NSF certification, GMP certification. Our production facility is FDA registered. We don't need to be FDA registered. We don't have to have anything to do with them. But this company always goes the extra mile, and we are FDA registered. They come to our plant and they certify that we are up to FDA standards for how it is that we produce this. As far as our skincare lines, those are certified by Dermatest, an international dermatological testing firm, and Stevens and Associates, which is a very similar place where they, and we're going to talk about the new study that came out, but they all certify that we are 100% safe, we're incredibly effective, and what's in our tubes is redox signaling molecules, the ones that have the little picture of a redox signaling molecule on them. We now have 2 products that aren't redox signaling, but they help redox signalers to do exactly what they're supposed to do. They enhance that.
Thank you. So you used ASEA in a hospital for 5 years here in New York. It took you 27 years as a chiropractor to get
only 27
to get into a hospital here in New York, which is not very typical first for a chiropractor to be in there. Why did you risk your reputation and your career to bring these products, to bring ASEA in and share it with your patients and the hospital?
Because I want to help change the world one person at a time. So as my conviction in the efficacy and the validation of these products became rock solid, as I studied this, and my paramour here would tell you every day I studied this for years and years, and I realized that this is going to change the world. It's not going to hurt anyone, and it can help everyone. And as I contemplated, do I bring in a saltwater-based network marketing set of products into the hospital that took me 27 years to get into, and already I was a bit of a pariah to most of the doctors in the hospital. I thought the only thing I could lose was my reputation and my career. So that wasn't that much. So I brought it in, I stacked the deck, I gave the product to a handful of patients in a particular population who had health challenges, and they all did great. And then as I gave the products to people with bigger problems and we got bigger results, I didn't care that one day they would come down and try to throw me out. I could defend myself with science and with studies, and that was how we got so much conviction and got so many people on this product, because it started growing quickly through the hospital, and it was awesome.
So the hospital did their research. First, they had done the research on you, and then, of course, when the chiropractor brings in the saltwater product, by the way, Dr. Foster and I were not network marketers. This was really our first dive into it, but we could not deny what these products had. So the hospital did their research, from what I hear, and they were okay with it. They had done their due diligence.
They did. Actually, one of the head administrators came to my office one day, and a patient had requested a bottle that they could borrow because it was an emergency because they had run out. And if you're on the product, you know what that means. You want to feel good all the time. And an administrator came down, saw the bottle, and said, "We know all about this." And I thought that was the day that they were going to threaten to throw me away. And she said, "One of our most important people in this hospital said, They're no longer in a wheelchair because of this product. So we're very interested in it. And that's when I knew the hospital was not going to toss me, and they might actually want my help at some point.
Absolutely. And they did.
They did.
And they did. So recently, we've heard that the prestigious Huffington Post released a statement about ASEA. This was about 3 weeks ago. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, that was very exciting. So Huffington Post, which you know is sort of a news agency on TV, they have an affiliation with AOL, not on TV, on the internet. We all saw that this article popped up, written by one of the writers, who said the title of the article was something like 5 of the emerging scientific technologies that are going to change your life. And they named 5 different technologies, and they were all branches essentially of science, not necessarily products. So there was nutrigenomics and things like that, but one of them was redox signaling molecules. And they mentioned right in the article, and you can get a product that increases your supply and balance of redox signaling molecules in ASEA. ASEA happens to be the only place in the world where you can get this technology. So that was really exciting. I was a little nervous that maybe ASEA paid somebody to do this. So I instantly emailed the author of the article, who said this was just from his research. Nobody paid him, and it was really interesting stuff. So that was very big to have just an independent group like Huffington who came out and said, we are one of the technologies that's going to change your future. And I'm talking to the people who are watching this, who are not yet on it, who need to, because even independent people are saying, you need to go on this. It's going to help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So ASEA, the drink, has always been about cellular healing from the inside out and cellular healing from the outside in with the Renew 28 gel. But in this past May, ASEA released their new facial skincare products that we were just talking about. These beautiful new products. One of them, of course, is the serum, another redox product. Then last week, they just released the 12-week study about from Stevens and Associates. Again, an independent, what would you call them? Independent study?
Yeah, it's a scientific company that they do studies, and they prove whether things work or they don't work. And the company ASEA chose them because they're one of the most highly touted and revered scientific testing facilities in the world.
So we've been using the products since May and just amazed. If you go and you find Foster on the internet and you look at him a year ago, even 6 months ago, 3 months ago, you will be shocked when you see he never used skincare products and what it has done for his face. Can you talk about what the 12-week study just showed?
I can, and it's very interesting. I'm a guy and I don't really care about my face that much, but when people see you and say, why does your face look so good? It's tough to say no to that. So I just do it actually so she'll continue to love me the rest of my life.
Love you.
I think she would anyway. Okay, so the study was awesome and amazing. So we had 4-week results, we had 8-week results, and we just got the 12-week results. And I'm going to read them. I don't have them memorized yet. But for those of you who are not using this product yet, think about what these numbers would mean to you. So after 12 weeks of using our system, where my wife is holding that system, okay, so we have the cleanser, which sets your skin up to accept and enhance the work of redox signalers. We have the Renew 28 gel. That's a full body skin revitalizing gel. It allows all cells to start working better. Then we have the serum for trouble spots, which is an ultra concentrated Renew 28, which by the way is a very concentrated ASEA. So they're all more concentrated. And then the last one is a moisturizer, which I assure you I've never used one in my life. It didn't matter how many my wife bought me, I never used them. And now it's pretty cool because it's a very high-tech moisturizer. It's not just some goop to add moisture. It's very high-tech. I won't bore you with the science. But when that was used on the subjects for 12 weeks, these are scientific results. These aren't just people who said, ooh, your skin feels good. Oh, it looks really nice. That's not what this was. This is all very high-tech stuff. So the numbers were 85% of the people after 12 weeks objectively showed visible decrease in number and depth of wrinkles. Who wouldn't want that? 90% saw a decrease in visible photo-damaged skin. So that's UV, that's sun damage. A lot of times that's down to DNA, and it changes the DNA, and you get this pigmentation that can be a problem later. 90% saw a decrease in that. That's amazing. 90% experienced more radiant skin, and that's objective. That's using instrumentation to measure radiance. 95% had firmer skin. Do you want saggier skin, crepier skin? I'm making up words as I go. Or firmer skin? You want firmer skin. Now, 100% had measurably smoother skin, and 100% showed a visible decrease in numerous, deep, fine lines. So now you have a choice. You want your face to look worse or better? Almost 100% looked better after using this for 12 weeks. Why wouldn't you do that or gift it to someone who would like to do that?
And there's a lot of products out there, and there's a lot of great products, but understand most of those products are not safe. They have things in them that are carcinogens, that they cause tumors and birth defects, and they plump the skin, and they give you these instant facelifts. We were talking about a product that it was one of these instant facelifts, and from another company. And what is it actually? They are finding that, yeah, it works for 6 hours. You go out and you put on this instant facelift, but what it's actually doing to the skin, as the science guy, can you kind of tell what are these products, these other products, doing to the skin, where ours is actually 100% safe in healing the skin at a cellular level, while these are doing what are they doing to the skin?
Okay, great question. So I am not a master esthetician, but I've learned from master estheticians. So think about the body as a whole, and you have all these organs and important things on the inside. Your skin is actually primarily a barrier. So you need that barrier from the elements, the toxins, the poisons that are out there to keep away from the things that are on the inside. As we age, we lose the barrier. That's why you use moisturizers. The more moisture you use that you can get into the skin, the bigger that barrier gets and the safer your body will be from junk. So those other products, actually, they stretch the skin, they make the skin look better, but they damage the barrier, and the barrier gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and at some point, you're gonna have trouble, and you're not gonna be able to tighten up that sagginess and that crepiness. It's gonna be too late. Your barrier will be destroyed. So when you look at what our products do, our products increase moisture in the skin 43% in 12 weeks. You're making that barrier bigger and bigger while having the skin heal from the outside in and the inside out by using all the products. Now you have a good, healthy, firmer, less wrinkled barrier that looks better, feels better, and what matters most is it functions better.
So the skin it's another organ, correct?
Largest organ in the body.
So if this is working on the outside, does the inside, do your organs on the inside get wrinkled and old? Do they need these redox signaling molecules as well? Because we can see the skin. If that's our largest organ, you guys, and we can see what the damage is happening. The same thing, your heart is just another organ. Your kidneys are another organ. Your liver, another organ. And we're being exposed to toxins and pollutants and poor food choices, and all these things are damaging our organs. So just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they're not being damaged. And usually by the time we realize that they are, it's kind of too late, right?
Exactly. She should be on the medical board too.
So even if you don't have a health condition, is this great for preventative?
This is the greatest preventative on the planet in history.
Yeah.
This is the preventative product that promotes health of the 21st century. There's nothing this powerful. There never has been. That product, so we don't talk about conditions. You know, we never claim to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, prevent anything ever because it's an FTC product. But that will help your cells to fight invaders, to talk to one another, to repair themselves, to replace themselves when they can't be repaired, and to protect themselves with those antioxidants to keep oxidants from attacking cells. That's what that does, and that's what your body needs and must have to stay healthy.
Well, you know what? Then I'm going to go right to that one, because when you're talking about the oxidants, there was some new science that was just released from the North Carolina research campus with Dr. David Newman. He's the head researcher. Can you talk a little bit about that science? Just put it in, layman's terms. I mean, we could get really technical, but can you explain what that study showed and why Dr. David Newman has, he's with this company, and he says that because we just keep getting more and more money into research and development, and it's all about truth, that he is become our head researcher.
That was a very compound question.
I know.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So let's go back to Dr. David Newman. So that's the North Carolina Research Campus down in the Research Triangle in North Carolina, world-renowned place, multi-billion-dollar research facility. And when we first came to him with ASEA, he said, I'll look at your stuff, but if it's not so good, I'm going to tell the world that. So he has started research. He started researching with us years ago, and now he's so impressed with our product that he's on our new patents because he knows this stuff is that important. So they have all this they have a $500 million machine that studies our product. They did a new study this year that came out and said that we decrease oxidative stress levels in LDL cholesterol and DNA. Okay, so that's a big statement, and what does it mean? Okay, so let's say you're a human, and let's say as you age, you rust. So if your car had bare metal and got hit with oxygen, that bare metal would oxidize, would go under oxidative stress, it would rust, and if you don't get rid of that oxidative stress and rust, you're going to lose your car. You lose your life when you rust. So you get oxidized and then you rust, hence taking antioxidants so we stop or slow the oxidation process. ASEA has the body make its own antioxidants, the most powerful ones. So that's why it's so powerful at anti-oxidation. It makes all the antioxidants that you might take into supplements or that your body makes, it makes them activated and work better so that we can slow the oxidation process. So when we prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we decrease oxidation and decrease oxidative stress levels by decreasing the oxidative stress levels of DNA and LDL cholesterol, you have the answer to what Dr. Newman said. We now can decrease disease risk factors by drinking 4 ounces of ASEA a day. So that's a really powerful study. And now we have a choice. Do we or don't we?
I don't want to rust. I love this. I love this. I got my life back from this. I didn't even tell you my story, but after 3 days on this with the health challenge of 6 years that not a doctor that in New York could help me with. Not one. And I went to 7, from rheumatologist to endocrinologist, every test, everything that was done, every medication and side effects from the medications that I had to take more medications, and tons of antioxidants, and my own juicing, and Eastern medicine, Western medicine. And on 3 days on this is why we're so passionate, because I got my life back. I was able to get out of bed and walk again. So it's pretty powerful.
By the way, just to that point, I got my wife back. I had a wife who was really bad for years. My children got their mom back. So who on this webinar has people that they would like to get back, that they would like to help? That's what this is about.
Thank you. Okay, so athletes, that's a whole nother ball game here. So athletes all over the world are using ASEA and Renew 28. They are breaking world records. We have Olympic champions. Can you talk about why ASEA is important for athletes?
Absolutely. Okay, so if you're an athlete or you know an athlete, athletes tear their bodies to shreds if they're a really good athlete, even if they're a weekend warrior. They break down cells. When we work out, when we lift weights, the goal is tear muscle fibers, break down cells, and then as they rebuild themselves, then you have a bigger muscle and a stronger muscle. But if you can get those cells to repair faster, replace faster, heal faster, recover faster, you're going to find that you're faster, that you're stronger, that you have better endurance, better performance. We just had another world record last week. Eddie Hall from the UK, world's strongest man, best deadlifts. He's lifting impossible things. This is his 4th world record this year alone. He's been an ASEA athlete for years. We see it all the time. We have Olympians on it. We have world record holders. We have world champions. It's awesome for athletes because athletes are just people who have cells that function better than ours, and this makes them function even better.
Absolutely. Okay, so who is ASEA for?
Okay, so ASEA is for, if you're on this webinar and you have more than one cell, this product is for you. If you have a pulse, it's for you. If you want to function at your peak, if you want to heal like you did when you were younger, if you want your body to function like it did years ago, this product is for you. If you don't like the idea that you're rusting or that you're aging, if you'd like to slow that process and maybe even reverse it some, this product is for you. According to Dr. Newman, this product decreases your disease risk. So if you want to increase your disease risk, don't drink this product. And if you hate the people around you and you want their disease risks increased, don't offer this to them. But if you're a kind, wonderful human and you want other people to have a better life, get them on this product so that their disease risks decrease, their oxidation decreases, and they are going to thank you with hugs and tears, and that's our favorite payment for these products.
You know, and because you were talking about that, you know, this company, this was on the FDA path in the beginning, and the company was offered so much money for this product, but the problem was that in the beginning there was only 40 people that had severe health challenges. And when this drug company wrote a check and said, we are going to write this check so that it's so big you will never speak to anybody else again, but those 40 people have to come off the product. By the way, that 40 people had turned into 135 people because those 40 people started sharing it with their friends and family, even though they had these severe health challenges. And our founders, Vertus Norton and James Pack and Tyler Norton, decided not to, because those 40 people had to come off the product if our company accepted the check. And they said, we can't let them go. And the drug company said, it's for the greater good, let them go. Our founders chose not to. It wasn't about money. It was about humanity. It was about helping people. And so they turned down the money. And they said, how do we get this product out? How do we get this product out to the world? And that's why they chose network marketing, because you can't put a product like this on a shelf. People don't know about redox signaling. They do now. Even the Huffington Post knows, and it's spreading so fast. I mean, in 2014, our company was named the most ethical company in Europe. We were named number 98 out of 3,000 network marketing companies from DSA. Is that the name of it?
Last year. Yeah.
Last year.
Sales.
Last year. And nobody even knows about us. These products change lives. And I would say to you, if somebody tells you not to take it, you need to question why. If somebody chooses not to, that's theirs. You have to respect them. But don't let anybody tell you not to take this. If somebody, even a doctor, I'm sorry, if a doctor tells you, you need to look at who your doctor is, because they have not done their research. Can you just real fast talk about PubMed? How many studies? on redox signaling are there in our National Institute library?
Okay, well, when we started this back almost 6 years ago, there were about between 5,000 and 6,000 studies, and these are peer-reviewed studies that are in journals published around the world. And now there's closer to 15,000 studies. There's another 100 to 200 redox signaling studies done by institutions around the world. These are double-blind, placebo-based crossover studies. This is real research. We're not making it up. And just go to pubmed.gov. It's the National Institute of Health Library. It's where all the journal articles are for the last 50 plus years. And you will see redox signaling is the science of the 21st century. You need it. Everyone you love and know needs it. Just get on it. You will not be sad. And there's a money-back guarantee. There's no risk.
Right. And, there is another third-party website. It's called The Redox Doc. theredoxdoc.com, and he's a redox expert, and he talks about what these redox signalers do and for every system of the body. So if you're wondering, can this help me? Go and look, go and see. These molecules are for everybody, and somebody asked you to be on this webinar tonight because they cared enough about you. So I think that we've answered a lot of questions.
I certainly have.
Yes, you have. Thank you. So please get back to the person that invited you to this webinar. And if you need more questions, if you want to see more science, they'll send it to you. They'll show you where to go. Otherwise, just let them know, I want to get started. I care about my health. I care about those of my loved ones. This is a legacy company, and we are here to help the world. So I want to thank you. Thank you so much to my wonderful husband.
Thank you so
for
much.
Being
Great
here.
job.
Everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful night, and ASEA later. Good night,
Good night, everybody. Thank you.